we just reviewed 2 delicious Doppelbocks. So we've talked about them on the channel, obviously, quite a bit. We reviewed the Paulaner Salvatore. For everybody watching, just like we've done in the past for so many years now, I think it's time. It is time, Simba. It is time to introduce everybody and explain to everybody what is a Doppelbock. And I think you have quite the explanation prepared for us today.
I think I do, my friend. I tried my best to collect and go into beer libraries and collect information and bring it here upon this.
I love this
place in the Beer Brackets pub, like to share it with all our viewers.
This rarely happens. So I'm going to sit back with my Doppelbock and I'm going to enjoy. Please, good sir, please let beer school commence.
Doppelbock has, like, as a root of the word bock, which is a style of beer that we've described before. Type of beer that originated in Germany, but the word doppel refers to being like doubled. The reason why they're using that is because they are referring to
Double the bock.
Yeah, exactly. Like to the amount of alcohol, but also the amount of malt that is being used in the production of
That's
it.
right.
Like, right. So the main characteristic.
Double the goats.
Exactly. And that's why you will see that. Like, and the word Bock obviously refers to the town, like the Einbeck, as we've learned.
That's right.
The appearance tends to be like a little bit darker, a little bit richer in color compared to the regular Bock. It tends to have a higher alcohol content, so like between 7 usually and up. It tends to be more malt forward. It tends to have like some more deep and rich notes, and then more importantly, it tends the hop presence tend to be very subdued, if not present at all. The hops obviously are used, but they're used just to balance out the malt. The main and the most important thing about Doppelbocks is the malt, the presence and the richness of the roastiness, the rich caramel notes that are coming from the malt presence. It's usually not highly carbonated. That's kind of like if you wanted to describe like the Doppelbock as a style. But now, my friend. So
we haven't even gone into the meal replacement yet.
We haven't
That's
even.
a whole other thing.
That's correct, my friend.
Providing sustenance
exactly
to monks. So that they can live through any
Exactly.
No, and fast. It's a whole thing.
It's the important thing, obviously, is where is this style originating from, and why did it become a style in the first place? As you very well explained, the original Bock is the Salvatore, was brewed by the Paulaner brewery, and the legend says that this brew was made to help sustain the monks during the fasting times. During Lent.
Liquid bread,
exactly. And it was actually meant to be that, like, and to replace meals.
Because what they were doing by liquefying the bread was getting around fasting. So they had to fast during the period of Lent, but so they said, well, let's brew a beer that's basically a meal. That's basically a loaf of bread in a glass, and we're going to fool the beer gods. The beer gods looking down on us are going to think that we're drinking some kind of dark, unalcoholic, non-sustainable liquid that is just not fulfilling in any way and isn't satiating our hunger, but in fact it was. And so these monks were very sneaky. They were very, very sneaky. And I find that very impressive that, they were able to fool the beer gods to that extent. And the beer gods, I must say, they should be more observant. They should be more aware of what's actually going on with these monks. But they're not. Apparently they're not.
It's funny that you mentioned that, my friend. I'll tell you a legend here in just a second. Before, I just wanted to mention one important fact for all our viewers. Obviously, we mentioned, like the first original Doppelbock is considered the Salvatore, and as a tribute to the Salvatore, a lot of Doppelbock style will have that Ator and
the Ator,
right?
Like the Delicator,
the Optimator, the Celebrator. They all have like that Ator ending. But going back to your story, my friend, I found this legend, which we know is the most reliable source of information. Beer legends specifically.
I don't want to hear any beer facts that aren't in the form of a legend.
I agree.
Because any information to do with beer, any storytelling, needs to be in the format of a legend.
It has to be.
Preferably inked onto a scroll. Preferably.
Yeah. So in this case, it was not on a scroll. It was not on a scroll. Like it was a beer bear that came and whispered that in my ear.
What?
And you'll find the
Beer bear.
reference in just a moment. If you go back.
Was it the Corbinian?
Yes.
I knew it. I knew it.
I'm glad you got it.
Still one of my favorite imagery from any Beer Brackets episode is the beer bear. And I still want to have that commissioned as an oil painting. I think that would just be, that should be hanging in an art gallery somewhere.
It had no, more than an art gallery. It should be like an oil paint, like hanging in your hallway, like going on so you see it on every. It's like that's the right place for that.
Oh my God.
But
If only I was a painter, the things I would do. No.
So apparently, there is this legend that during Lent, like as you very well know, monks were not allowed to consume solids.
Yeah.
So they were like, okay, well, we can only drink. So I
Sneaky
wonder
bastards.
if we can sneak around this rule, but we need approval. So what they did, the monks said, let's brew this beer, the Doppelbock, and let's send it to the Pope. And let's
Wait. This happened? How have I never heard of this before?
the beer legend.
Where
my
did this?
friend. It's the
Where
beer
did
bear.
you dig up this legend?
I found the
they
legend.
Sent it, they sent the Doppelbock to the Pope.
They did. But here's the
What?
here's the tricky part. Those monks were smart. The legend says that the beer traveled all the way to Rome to the Pope. But obviously, because there was no refrigeration at the time, by the time it reached the Pope, it was not particularly pleasant to drink, right?
It was a little funky.
Yeah. So the Pope tried it and said, "Wow, like if they're so pious to be wanting to drink this during Lent, so be it. I'll allow that." But here's
he
the
wasn't
theory.
drinking the fresh juice.
Yeah, here's the theory, my friend. Like, was that an accident or was that well planned? We don't know.
There's so much to unpack, but we don't have time to go into all this. But I would say, wow, I didn't know. Good on you for finding that legend, because that is incredible. That is amazing that they sent it to the Pope. And I would say, yes, that was 100% done on purpose, because those monks are sneaky bastards. Just the fact that they would do that in the first place and brew this meal replacement.
That's
yeah,
right.
I would say, yeah.
So I agree with you, my friend. And so I would say, like, yeah, there's some digging we need to do there, like to check some facts and maybe talk to a couple of more beer bears, to make sure that stories are.
Or we could
aligning.
just leave it as it is. I think we could just assume this is what happened. Let's just go with this. The victors write the history books, my friend.
They do.
And I think in this case, we can consider ourselves the beer victors and write the history books.
I think we can. I think we made the Doppelbock justice, like telling the story of how it went through the centuries.
Wow. Well, that was so. Yes, amazing. So I'm just blown away. My brain's going a million miles an hour processing the fact that this happened. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. That was incredible. I had no idea where that was going. That was a beautiful beer legend. I wasn't expecting to get a new beer legend today. I thought we were just going to have a regular little beer class and learn about what is a Doppelbock. But no, Alessandro graced us with a beautiful beer legend. Well, cheers, everybody. What's your favorite Doppelbock? Let us know down below.
Cheers.